What's up, crypto nuts? I hope all is well for you today in the cryptoverse. As I try to spit that out, try to make an unedited video here. Let's see how that goes. Bitcoin on the daily chart. My title says something about shorting, I'm sure, to get your attention. And I am shorting, but I'm also longing. First thing I want to point out is, like I said in my last video, is this volume down here on bottom. I don't like how small the volume is, as you can see. This entire year, 2024, last 2 months of 2023. As we've been pumping up, the volume is tiny. So that suggests if something happens and people started selling, it could come down hard. But we're in a bull market, and hopefully that doesn't happen. But I just want to show you what I'm doing here real quick to open some eyes. Some people, particularly new people, may not have a chance on other channels to see something like this. I've never seen another YouTuber show anything like this. I'm sure they're doing it, but like you always hear that Wall Street's basically legal crime to take people's money. I want to show you something here. While I was dormant, wasn't making videos for a few months there on Femex, they did some updates to their site. One of the things they did is they gave you the option to open a long and a short together, as you see up here on the right. I click on this little here, isolated, and they give you the option now to adjust your long and short positions. So right now I got 7x long, 5x short. There's thousands, millions, probably billions of different combinations of things you can do with this trading style. I think maybe I'd call it like my spider, something about a spider. You ever seen a spider sit on a web with its legs, and if something touches this web anywhere, that little spider can feel exactly where it's at because of which of its legs it gets vibrated, right? And it knows where to go get the bug. That's kind of what this is. You know, like as far as fiddling with the numbers. Right now, you can see 2,700 in the long, 3,000 in the short. So they're basically, you want it basically even. And so I woke up. This is what I had when I went to sleep. This is where I set it. Let me. I just want to show you this trade here. Right now, the short is in profit, and I had these numbers. The entry price for the long is at 71,000, and the entry price for the short is at 70,000. That's because I've taken profit once on the short already and put that money back in. Actually, I have that profit sitting down here, which I'll show you at the bottom. Over here on the right, I have a long in at 61,000. I'll show you that here in a second. I just want to show you the trade set up here. So no matter what happens, if it goes up or down, I'm basically breaking even, right? And I have the gut feeling right now that this is probably coming down a little bit here in the very near future. Now, I do think Bitcoin's going up over 100,000 here pretty quick, so I don't want to suggest I'm bearish or anything. But I just want to show you that this right here, I think, is probably a dead cat bounce top. It looks like to me. Now, these candles, as you've seen me talk about before, they don't really matter a whole lot. But those four with the big long wicks on top do suggest there's a lot of selling pressure that comes in at 72,000 and drives it back down. That's looking like a top to me. And my analysis I've been given in my last few videos is that we're likely looking at a consolidation for at least a few weeks, wherever that's at, right? And then probably the big kahuna is coming eventually, which takes us up over 100,000. But I don't want to go to the right and talk about speculation too much. I just want to show right now. I can't show my trades on the big screen, so I'm going to have to use this little screen. Actually, I can probably do this for now, I guess. Make it a little more visible, get rid of the volume. Okay, so, well, shoot, you can't see. Well, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what I have here is the liquidation price and marked in yellow here for the long is at 61,391. Liquidation for the shorts at 83,849, represented by these yellow lines on the screen, as you can see. Let's zoom in on this bottom one here. So what I want to happen, well, I don't want to talk about that yet. Let's see. So, okay, the liquidation price down here for my long position is at 61,391. For that short trade I have open, no, and the short and the long trades, they're basically equal amounts, which I've been fiddling with. Like later tonight, this will change. I'll change it up, like a little spider adjusts his web, right? That's kind of the analogy I'm using on this. I'll adjust here, tinker there, do this and that. For now, when I went to sleep last time, this is how I had it set. The liquidation price for the long is at 61,391. The take profit for the short is at 61,399, represented by the blue number. And then the green number is a long that's you can see is about the same size as the long position I'm in. The green number is 61,499. That's where I would buy. That's a buy. That's a set order to buy right before that long position gets liquidated. And this would trigger, and it would drive my liquidation price down to like 55,000 or so, 55,000, 56,000 ballpark. So in essence, if this were to come down, my short position would take profit at 61,399. My long position would trigger and drive this yellow line all the way down to 55,000, right? So not only would I do awesome on the short, I also would add to my long position at 61,000, driving the entry price, driving the liquidation price all the way down to 55, 56,000, which I don't think Bitcoin's going to go that far. Now it could, and I'd keep an eye on it, right? And if it were, I could add more money. But I just want to show you, this is how I left it when I went to bed, right? And so I'll probably change it, like I said. Now, the green, and the red lines here are my entry positions for the long and the short. Like I said, they were a lot closer together originally. So why I decided to do this is because I wasn't sure if Bitcoin was going to rip up or if it was going to dump. But like as a consolidation, so I just figured it's a good spot to do this right now. Now, when we start going parabolic, I probably wouldn't want to have the short open, of course. But I don't think we're quite there yet. So up here at the top, this is the liquidation price for the short. Now the short's 5x and the long is 7x. So liquidation price, but I have, they're basically equal trades. There's tons of different things you can do with this. I just want to open some eyes, particularly for the new people. Because like on Wall, this is how the professionals would do it. They probably wouldn't necessarily do it on the same screen like Femex now allows me to do. But like, if you go up here on the right, this is Femex. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 different accounts. So I used to have like this one would be a long, and this one would be a short, and then this would be something else. And this, this and that. But now they allow you to do it at the same time, and it's really quite interesting. It's basically hedging, and that's how Wall Street has done it for a long time. Whether it could be different products, options and this and that and this and that, but they'll be shorting while they're longing. Basically, is what's going on, and that's what this is. And this is the yellow line is the liquidation for my short. Now I have the take profit line for the long at 83,799. Right, and the liquidation for the long is at 83,000, or for the short. I mean, did I say long? Take profit on the long is at 83,799, and liquidation on the short is at 83,849. So if there was some, just amazing wick way up right away, which is extremely, basically impossible. But if that were to happen, right, while I was sleeping, my short would get liquidated, but my long would take massive profit, and I basically would be about even. Now, as you can see, the short currently is $300 bigger than the long, so it's not quite even. But I have the short bigger right now because I do think this is coming down at least a little bit, and I'll just eyeball it for now, right? And I could take profit. I could take this $27 profit right now and immediately reopen the short, right? Therefore, making my money in play bigger. So I'll just keep an eye on. There's lots of different things. I just want to show you this. I guess that's all I gotta say. With this trade as it is right here, right now, if Bitcoin came down to 61,000, I would be just this would just be a fantastic trade, right? Because if it came down to 61,000, my short would take profit. I would add to my long. I would double my long position on one fell swoop, right? And then because that would, you know, the support line here is at about 61,000, 60,800 or so, right? So if it did come down here, it's likely bouncing from here and coming back up, right? So it would just be fantastic. And if it came back up here, I would start probably re-entering into my short position. It depends on time, right? Where we're at, how close, but eventually this will take off to the upside. Also, what this does is it offsets the funding rate. The funding rate's been very, very high for leveraged long positions right now. Right now it's at 0.0274. It was at 0.04 yesterday. Typically it's around 0.01. So what that means is if you're in a leverage long right now, you're really paying a lot of fees to stay in that long position. I have a feeling there's a lot of longs that are trapped there was euphoria and frothy coming up here in this parabolic pump. And so if there's new people out there listening, don't long the top again, right? You'll get the hang of it. But if you're stuck in a long position right now, I thought also this could be something you could do to offset the fact you might get liquidated. There's lots of things you can do. If you're new, this might not occur to you. So here you go. There's millions of different ways you could use this little technique. What else do I have to say? Also, I wanted to just add, last time around in the Bitcoin cycle, I didn't, because I realized basically what this market is. Like earlier in the video, I called it legalized crime, legal crime, right? Basically is what Wall Street does. They just take your money and no matter what happens. So last time around, I had a hard time taking profit at the very top. One of the reasons is because I thought, I'll take out a loan against my crypto and this and that and this and that. But I didn't have time to do none of that, and it just fell like a rock. So basically what happens is if you're the last, you want to be the first guy out at the top so you can take everyone's money. So basically what I'm trying to say is this time around, I'm trying to take your money, right? That's just how it is. That's how this is. I just view it as a circus in the game at this point, right? And I'm going to try to take as much of your money as I possibly can. And the way I can rationalize that is later on, the money that I get this time around, I'm going to stick it back into the market later and just let it sit there, right? So that way, technically, I really haven't taken anyone's money. Because when you see this for what it is, it's like, it's like basically like sitting at a poker table for cash and taking someone's money. You don't know who that is, right? I don't want to take your money, right? Like a pool hustler, right? Because you might, that could be your rent for your family, right? And I don't want to take that. So it's kind of a moral opposition to this. But I've just rationalized it because so either, I either have to want to take your money or I just don't want to do this at all, right? So if I'm going to be involved in this, I want to do it the right way and take your money because that's what else reason would I be here for? I'm not here to lose my money. So that's just how I rationalize it now. Say whatever amount of money I make this time around, I will stick it back in to like Bitcoin or chainlink or somewhere in the crypto market, right? So that way I technically statistically I haven't taken anyone's money, right? But you get what I'm saying, right? Because if this works out, I might be real successful at this, and I know there's people out there that they're going to get their ass handed to them, right? in this market here in the coming months. So I just want you to be aware of that. All right. I hope you enjoyed this and have a good day. Later.